Hello everyone, this is Ricky Thomas again from Advantage Gambling Concepts, and I'm here to do yet another video, an instructional video on integrating betting methods. Okay, now my first video that I put out was actually on the grinder method or the Patrick system, and that's basically utilizing the advantage of hedge bets here on these place numbers in order to slowly but surely grind out a profit. Alright, now the second video that I made was a video on what I call the hit and move system, or the hit and move method. Basically, you put bets on these numbers right here, and you hit them, and then basically as soon as you hit one, you take them down, and when you take them down, you basically dodge the 7. Alright, these are two very simple methods that I taught in previous videos, and if you haven't seen those videos, I highly recommend that you watch them. However, I'm going to be doing a demonstration of each method right now, and how you, of course, integrate those two methods in order to maximize your profits in playing craps. Okay, now this is my character, this Advantage Gambling Concepts player. He's starting with $100 today. Alright, now I want to make a really small point. I don't want to beat the dead horse like I usually do in my videos. Whenever you approach gambling in general, you want to approach it like you would approach a war. Okay, pretty much the same principles that apply to war apply to gambling and casino craps. Alright, so the very first thing you want to do is you want to walk up to the table, and you want to get a look at what's going on around the table before you actually start committing chips. Okay, because you want to know if it's a hot table or a cold table. You want to know if these guys are random shooters or controlled shooters. You want to know how many 7s are coming up. I mean, you just want to know pretty much the layout of what's happening. The momentum of the game is what I call it. Okay, and based on the momentum of the game, you're going to choose your betting strategy based on that. Okay, now I've said this in a previous video, and I'm going to say it again. Craps strategy needs to be flexible. Okay, you have to be flexible in order to succeed in this game. You just have to. There are a lot of people out there who basically present some ideas about how to play craps, and they say that this is the best method of playing or whatever. And what these people are doing is they're presenting their ideas in the context of a one-size-fits-all mentality. Okay, and you just really can't do that whenever you're playing casino craps. There is no one-size-fits-all mentality. There's no such thing as a silver bullet. Okay, basically you have to have different betting strategies. You have to have different playing methods, and you have to know when to apply these different methods. You have to know what to do in what given situation. Okay, and that's how you succeed at craps. Okay, so to recap, you're basically like you're approaching this thing like you're approaching a war. Okay, you're going to do a little bit of administrative reconnaissance before you start committing to any chips. You start committing to any bets or anything like that. And that's basically, you're going to walk up to the table, and yeah, you put your chips in front of you, but you're not actually going to make any bets until you know exactly what's going on at the table first. You're basically scouting out the land or the landscape, or you're basically scouting out the battlefield first before you actually start doing anything. Okay, that's what's called administrative reconnaissance. And again, that's a principle in war. And of course, you should utilize that when playing craps as well. Okay, now Craps is an adversarial game. It's you versus the house. But it's not an adversarial game in the sense that poker is, where it's you versus another player. Basically, craps is you versus the dice. And those dice can go any crazy way. You just never know what's going to happen, okay? That's why you have to be adaptive. That's why you have to be flexible, okay? And, of course, you also need to know when to walk away when things are just not going good, okay? So, with that being said, I'm going to demonstrate the grinder method, and here it goes. I'm going to go ahead and let the shooter roll. I think it's this guy. And he established his point, which is a 6. Now, in the grinder method, I'm going to place $5 on the don't come. That's a push. That doesn't help us. That doesn't hurt us. And that doesn't help either. I don't know who the shooter was. Okay, so there it is again. The point has been established. I've lost $10. Gee whiz. I'm going to go ahead and keep doing what I'm doing. I'm trying to demonstrate the grinder method. Now, as a brief explanation of the grinder method, you put $5 on the don't come, okay? And let's just say the roll comes a 9, alright? Of course, that $5 ends up here on the don't come, 9. What you do then is you place $5 on the place bet here, 9. So you got $5 on the don't come, and you have $5 on the place bet. It's an even bet either way. It's a hedge bet. Okay, the thing is, if the shooter rolls a 7, you're going to win on the don't come, but you're going to lose on the place bet. So the two bets actually even out. Okay, so you don't actually win anything, but you don't lose anything either. However, if the shooter rolls a 9, you win $7 on the place bet, and if you lose your $5 on the don't come for a net profit of $2. Okay, and you keep putting hedge bets on all these numbers till you have them basically all covered. And each time these numbers hit, you're going to get $2 to $4. You get $2 for the 5, 6, 8, and 9, and you get $4 for the 10 and the 4. Okay, and I know you guys are saying that that's just $2 or $4 or whatever, but that really adds up. Okay, at the end of the day, that really adds up. And that is the grinder method. And as you can see, I have it here on the 8. The 6 and the 8 is a little different, simply because it requires an additional $1 instead of just 5 because of the differential odds. Okay, and it's like that in a real life casino too. Against my better judgment, I placed another bet on the don't come. And it turned out well. I'm going to go ahead and let it ride. I suspect that 7 is coming. And as you can see, I hit the 8. I won my $2. And I'm going to continue to let it ride. And I hit the 9. I got my $2. And as soon as I get what I need, I take it down. Okay. And I made most of my money back. Now, it is important to note that this craps game, your average shooter is going to probably roll about 5 or 6 times before they roll a 7. Okay, so it doesn't matter if I'm doing the grinder method or if I'm doing something else. Basically, I like to have all my bets down by the 3rd roll. That way I don't risk anything, because I'm basically trying to dodge the 7 is what I'm doing. This guy appears to be on a hot roll. Okay, I do have the urge Oops, I spoke too soon. Never mind. I was having the urge to basically start putting bets out there because this guy appeared to be on a hot roll, but that's okay. Now, we lost $10 playing, alright? We got most of it back, except for $1, so I'm down $1, alright? We got off to a pretty rough start. But that was the grinder method, folks, that I just demonstrated, and I'm sure you guys get the gist of it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate the hit and move strategy, okay? And both strategies, I bypass the come out bets here, the don't pass bar and the pass line. I totally bypass those, okay? And I'm only playing to take advantage of these numbers up here. The point is at 10. What I do with the hit and move method is once the point has been established, I place $22 on the inside. 5, 6, 8, and 9. $5 each, with the exception of the 6 and the 8, of course, they both get an additional $1. Okay, the reason I do this is because I'm hoping to hit one of these numbers and make a $7 profit, okay, on the next roll. And if I do, I'm going to take it down, okay? And I'm taking it down because I'm trying to dodge the 7, okay? If I don't hit any of these numbers within the next 3 rolls, I'll take it down anyways, because it's better safe than sorry. I'm still trying to dodge the 7. Essentially what I'm doing is I'm hitting and moving. Okay, I'm getting in there, I'm hitting one of these numbers, and then I'm getting out the way to dodge the 7. Hence the term hit and move strategy. Oh no, that's no good. And as you can see, we're going to come out to a rough start on this one as well. I can just see it. Wow, that's a lot of 7s. Now I'm going to try my strategy again, just so you guys can get a sense of how it works. There's a 4. That doesn't help me. I'm going to let it go for 2 more times, and then if I don't hit one of the numbers by then, there's another 4. One more time, and then if I don't hit the number, I'm going to take it down. Well, I hit one of the 9s. Excellent. Now I'm going to go ahead and take it down. There's the 9 again. But you guys pretty much get the point, right? You place the numbers up here, you place the bets up here, and then you hit one of these numbers, and then you take it down. And if these numbers don't come within 3 rolls, you basically remove the bets. Now, in the casino, you do have the option to simply turn the bets off. That way you're not collecting the chips and stacking them up, and then with the next shooter handing them back to the dealer, and you guys are taking them down and putting them back up again. You can tell the dealer to simply turn the bets off. Okay, and that's the same thing as taking them down. It's a lot easier. Okay, so that's the hit and move strategy. And of course, I demonstrated the grinder method. Now, each of these methods playing individually, you have certain advantages and you have certain disadvantages. Okay, the advantage of the hit and move strategy is you could actually make a lot of money really fast. Okay, if this guy is rolling, okay, and he establishes his point, and let's just say it's an 8, you put the bets up, you hit one of these numbers, you take it down, you made $7. Okay, and then he 7's out. All right, you dodge that 7. This girl rolls, she establishes her point. Let's just say her point's a 5. You put your bets up again, and let's say the next number is a 9. You hit it, you took it down, she 7's out, you dodge a 7, and so forth and so forth and so forth. Okay, I mean, if you look at it like this, it's a 7 times 4, which is 28. All right, so within what? How long does it take for these guys to 7 out? It doesn't take very long. It's like a few minutes each. Okay, probably in about 20-30 minutes, around there, maybe 20 minutes, you've already made like $28, okay? And that's going to add up, all right? So if you keep going that way for a couple of hours or a few hours, you can do the math. That's the advantage of the hit and move strategy. You can make a lot of money really fast playing that way. There will be times, like you guys saw, when you put your bets up, the $22 on the inside, and the dude rolls a 7 on the very next roll, his first roll after establishing his point, and you're going to lose that $22 that you have up there. That's the disadvantage of the hit and move strategy. Whereas you do dodge a lot of 7s, you're going to get clonked here and there. Okay, so there's the advantage, there's a disadvantage. The advantage of the grinder method is it's one of the safest ways to start playing craps. You could actually start putting bets up there, and you can start monopolizing these numbers, okay? Putting your bets up there and getting to where you're just hitting all these numbers, and you're making $2 to $4 each time you do it. And of course, you're not risking that much. At the most, you'll be risking like $7 because you have $5 on the don't come bar, and then let's just say you have the 6 and the 8s. Remember, they require an additional $1. So that's $7 total if a 7 hits that you get hit. Okay, but you're still making more money on these numbers every time they hit. Okay, so you're actually not risking that much, and you're putting yourself in a position where you could profit with little or no risk. Okay, because if you have all these numbers covered and you don't have anything in the don't come bar, if the person 7's out, worst case scenario, you're going to lose like $2 maybe on the 6 and 8. Or if you don't have those numbers, you'll simply break even. You don't really risk anything. That's the advantage of the grinder method. The disadvantage of the grinder method is it takes a long time to build up a significant profit, okay? But you will build up a profit slowly but surely. Now, you're going to have people who are going to be like, nah, man, if you just put bets up here and everything, and you just leave them up here, and you're going to be hitting all these numbers and everything, before you know it, you'll have, within a few minutes, you'll have $50 and everything and stuff. So, and you're over here messing around with $2 or $4. You know what I mean? If you guys kept playing that way, I guarantee you, at the end of the day, that dude will be broke, and you'll still have money. Okay, I guarantee you. Over the long, yeah, you don't make a whole lot of money in the short term with the grinder method, but as time goes on, the grinder method shines through. Okay, you're gonna see how that is a real way to beat the game of craps. Okay, and then you're gonna ask that guy, like, what do you have to say for yourself now? And he'll just be like, well, I got unlucky. No, you didn't. Your methods are inadequate. That's what happened. All right, so yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate how to integrate these two strategies now. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and allow this guy to do whatever it is he's going to do. Oh, he 7'd out. And as I recall, I hit one of my numbers and I took it down. And so I dodged that 7. So it's a perfect demonstration. Now we're starting a new game. I have $84. I started with 100. And the point is an 8. I'm going to place my $22 on the inside, and I'm going to place $5 on the don't come bar. And I hit the 8. I don't really have to take those down, but because these bets are off, when they hit their point like that, it's off. I won $7 out of that exchange. Okay, now the shooter started off with an 8, being his point, and then he rolled another 8, hit his point on the first roll, and then he rolled like a 3, and then he rolled like an 11, and now he's rolled like a 4. Okay, so am I going to put my numbers up, my bets up right here like I did before? No, I'm not. Okay, the reason being is because I've already made $7. And I'm in a position here to win another $2. That's $9, okay? I'm going to go ahead and let it ride. I suspect the 7 is coming. Alright, I suspect the 7 is coming. Because he's already rolled a few times. And he appears to be on a lucky roll. Now, there's a little bit of a psychological thing here, guys. You see this guy just hit the 9 twice, and now he's hit the 5, okay? So now you're thinking to yourself, you're starting to second guess yourself. You're saying, well, should I be putting money up because I think this guy's on a lucky roll? Remember, it's always better safe than sorry, alright? I just won my $2. Yay! So now I'm playing risk-free craps, okay? Well, I just made $9. I came up. And this guy's hitting a lot of numbers. That's fine. We're going to allow him to hit those numbers. There's no telling what's going to happen, because as soon as you put up this $22 on the inside, I guarantee you that nasty 7 is going to rear its ugly head, and just like that, you're going to be broke. Wow, this guy has hit his point twice. There's an 11. So I'm going to wait for him to 7 out before I actually start playing again. I know he's on a lucky roll, but I don't trust it. I'm going to go. There it is. No, I don't want to roll. Now, the last guy just rolled a bunch of times. Okay, and he hit his points like twice, I believe. And we only saw 1 7 in the course of that time. Statistically speaking, the 7's supposed to come like every 5 or 6 rolls. Okay. So I strongly suspect that there are more 7s up there. However, I would like to get some more bets out there. So I'm going to go ahead and chance it. I'm only going to use the grinder method right now. Only going to use the grinder method right now. I got the 6. So I'm alright. Now, I might get like 2 or 3 hedge bets up there, and then just simply leave it. And I got the 9. Alright. I'm hoping that this one... Right, I got the 10. Now I'm going to go ahead and leave it. Okay, I'm essentially using the stick and move method with the grinder method right now. I would have had the 4, but that's okay. And I stand to profit $4 if the 10 hits. Okay, $2 if the 6 hits, which it just did. And another $2 if the 9 hits. Okay, so I'm winning. Whoa. Now the person established, they hit their point. Alright, if the shooter rolls a 7 on the come out roll, we're going to win $10 because these don't come bets, they're still on. But these place bets are still off. So the hedge bets are sort of void at this point because these bets are on while these bets are off. Now, in a live casino, you do have the option to turn these bets on. Okay, you do have that option to keep the hedge bet action going. I just want to point that out to you guys. I usually don't do that because I'm in a situation right now where worst case scenario I'm going to lose $5, best case scenario I'm going to win $10. Okay, and in the middle the point will be the 4, the 5, the 6, or the 8. So if the shooter rolls a 9, okay, since that number came up and this bet is still on and this one is off, we're going to lose the $5 on the 9. Okay, but however, if he rolls a 7, we're actually going to win the $10 here. Okay, so let's hope it's a 7. Cross your fingers. Come on, 7. Come on, 7. Come on, 7. Well, okay, we still got another shot. Come on, 7. Come on, 7. Cross your fingers, everybody. Come on, hope. Oh, yeah, we did it. Yay. All right, so. And we're back to... We're back in profit land. And here's some more 7s. Okay, we're back in profit land. We're now recovering from that $22 hit we took on the hit and move method that I attempted earlier. Now I'm gonna attempt the same strategy again. I'm using both the grinder method and the hit and move method at the same time. I hit the 8. Bam. I'm taking them down. But I'm going to continue to use the grinder method. I just made $7. Darn, darn, darn. Not good. Okay, now I just lost $6. I made 7. I actually came up because I'm up $1. Okay, and I know you guys are saying like, whip-de-doo, $1, you know, what an achievement. Yeah, I know. But two things you have to remember. One, I'm still quote unquote winning, and two, I took down the 5, the 6, and the 9 prior to that 7 hitting. So whereas I would have lost that money here, okay, I would have lost that money here. That would have been $16 that I lost. Okay, I saved it. I dodged that 7. All right, so you can kind of see how the grinder method combined with the hit and move strategy is working. I'm going to attempt it again. The beauty of the hit and move strategy is a simple fact that while there's more ways to roll a 7 than any other number here, there's actually more ways you can roll a 5, a 6, and an 8, and a 9 combined than there are to roll 7. There's like, what, 4 ways to roll 7? And there's 18 ways you can hit one of these numbers. Statistically speaking, you're going to hit at least one of these numbers before you hit that 7. Okay, that's the beauty of the hit and move strategy. Alright, so I actually have a slight mathematical edge right now. And bam, there it is, folks. I just hit the 6. Boom. I'm taking them all down. And I'll get some more... I'll get some more hedge bets out there. Sure. No problem. Hey, I just got the 10. Now, how much money have I just made? Shoot. I won $7 on the 6 over here, I believe. And then I won just $4 over here. So that's $11. That's $11 in one game, guys. Now I'm in a position to where I can win $4 more dollars here and $2 more here. So, I can potentially make $18 with this game. And I don't have to risk anything further. I don't have to risk anything further. I'm risking this $1 extra that I have on the 6, but that's it. Okay, that's it. So if the shooter 7's out right now, I already made $11. And worst case scenario, I'm going to lose this $1. Okay, unless of course I put another bet up. If I lose $1, big deal. You know what I mean? I'm winning. As you can see, I'm going to go ahead and let it ride because those 7s have been coming up kind of a lot. And I just hit my 6. So there's my $2. Alright, now I'm hoping that a 10 hits before a 7 does. Will it happen? Wow, that's the 3rd time in a row that 6 hit. Getting back to the psychological thing, you just took your bets down and you see all these numbers hitting. You're going to be tempted to put bets out there thinking like, oh, you know, I'm missing all these opportunities. You know, you guys, you have to be decisive, okay? It's like a war. Remember, you have to be decisive in a war. Wrong decision, right decision, make a decision. Stand by your decision. That's what being decisive is all about. Bam. We're going to keep doing this. I'm not tripping because, you know, as you can see, I'm winning here. And how long is this going to go on? I don't know. But it's not a bad idea either, guys, to watch the players. Now, if you notice that every time this woman rolls, she goes a long freaking time without rolling a 7, and you start to notice it as a pattern, hey, maybe she's just lucky. Maybe she's a controlled roller. I don't know. That's fine. You want to use that to your advantage, okay? If it's her turn to shoot, go ahead and put some more numbers on there. Go ahead and take a risk because she has a history of rolling well, okay? And she hits a lot of numbers out here. So go ahead and take a risk. But if this woman right here 7's out like she just seems to have this dark rainy cloud over her, she just 7's out like right away and everything, don't risk it. You know what I mean? Be conservative. And that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying be aware of what's going on. Be flexible. Okay? Know what's going on at the table. You got to know if this guy's a random shooter or a controlled shooter. You got to know if this woman sevens out a lot. You got to know if you basically got to know what the momentum of the game is going to be. You can kind of tell. I'm hoping this is a 7. And no good. I could put more bets up there, but I strongly suspect that 7 is coming. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it. And I know there's a lot of numbers being hit right now, but I'm not worried about that because I'm decisive. And I've made a decision. I'm standing by my decision. I'm being conservative, okay? I'm being conservative. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to get that 10, but that's fine. Now I have $119, and that was on top of taking a $22 hit early on in this game. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and do this one more time. Bam. You know what? I have a bad feeling. I just have a bad feeling. Something just... So I'm going to use the grinder method. It's a little safer. For some reason, I just suspect that. I just suspect that 7 is going to rear its ugly head for some reason. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop because I just made $5 and I'm in a position to make $2 more, which I didn't do. Okay, now I have $24. I'm sorry, $124. So I'm making money. Now, I'm about to end this video because I think you guys get the point. What I've done is I've showed you the grinder method, and I've showed you the hit and move strategy, and I've showed you how you can use the both of them together in order to maximize profits at the table. Okay, and this is a very important video right here. Now, if you look at my last videos, I teach the 2 methods individually. Okay, and I do that for a specific reason. I wanted you guys to learn and get familiar with what I do and why on the 2 methods individually before I actually present like a video where I'm sort of putting it together, where I'm putting the 2 methods together. And that way you guys know like how to play in certain situations. Okay, so what did we cover? We covered first, you want to do administrative reconnaissance. Okay, you want to walk up to a table, find out what's going on, find out if it's a hot table or a cold table, find out what these guys are all about. Is this woman a lucky shooter? Is this woman a bad shooter? Okay, is this guy a controlled shooter? Okay, you want to know all this before you start putting bets out there. Now, you can walk up to the table and use the grinder method because you're actually not risking that much. Okay, and you're still getting the feel of the game. You're still trying to fill out the game's momentum. Which direction the game is going. Is it going to be a hot table? Is it going to be a cold table? Or a bunch of numbers hitting or a bunch of 7s hitting? You're going to find all that information out while taking minimal risks, while also putting your hedge bets in position here so you can start making a profit. That's how you play winning craps, guys. And there's a lot of people on YouTube who are putting videos out there. And I gotta say, some of these videos and some of these ideas are pretty good. I've been watching them. But here's the thing. Remember something. It's just like in a war. There's no such thing as a silver bullet. Okay? There's no such thing as the best method all the time. There's no one-size-fits-all strategy. Okay? Certain situations just require you to adapt. Now, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys a real quick story before I end this video. I was playing craps in Vegas a few months ago, okay? This guy comes walking up to the table with like $600 worth of chips, okay? He puts a stack of chips on the don't pass bar, alright? Now, what this guy didn't know, what this guy couldn't have known, was that there was 3 controlled shooters at the table, alright? there was me and my father, and then there was another guy who I also recognized as a controlled shooter, okay? 3 controlled shooters at the table. This guy walks up, doesn't even look, doesn't even get the feel of the game, doesn't do any administrative reconnaissance, nothing. He just puts a stack of chips on the don't pass bar. Why did he do that? Well, I read this book by this guy who is called the Dice Doctor. Okay, and he says that in his like 20, 30 years of playing craps in Vegas, he's only met like maybe 5 legitimate professional craps players, and he says all of them were wrong way bettors. Okay, now what this guy was doing was he was of course betting with the house that these shooters are going to 7 out, which statistically speaking they're going to. Okay, so he actually has a very sound strategy. He does. Okay, but he didn't take the time to get the information that he needed. So what happened? Well, he got freaking clonked. That's what happened. I remember rolling and hitting my 7 like a few times right before establishing my point. So he was losing money. Now every time he lost money, he kept putting a stack of chips on that don't pass bar because he figured that like, wow, these guys are just getting lucky. You know, pretty soon the luck is going to run out and then mine is going to be in. Well, it didn't work like that. After I shot, and I made my point a couple of times, mind you, and stuff, and that dude lost some more money. After it was my time after I 7'd out, eventually, it was this dude's turn to roll. And this dude was a controlled shooter. Now, you can tell a controlled shooter when you see one, okay? When the stick man hands the shooter the dice, and the shooter carefully selects the dice, okay? He presets the dice like so, very carefully, methodically. He then grips the dice in a very specific way. He then ensures that his stance and his posture is correct. He then picks up the dice and does a perfect arm swing to deliver the dice over here, and the dice hits the felt, barely touching the back wall and hardly bouncing at all whenever they hit the felt. That guy is a controlled shooter, all right? And I saw this dude doing it. And the guy who kept doing the wrong way betting, he saw it too. But he was just like, yeah, whatever. So he would just put a stack of chips down. This dude hit his point like more than once, I remember. I don't remember the exact numbers. I don't remember what's going on. But I remember that we were all hitting our points. My father hit his points a couple times too. Okay? So this dude was losing money left and right. He was a wrong way better, which, again, it's a sound betting strategy. It really is. Okay? The fact of the matter is people are going to 7 out eventually. So it's not a bad idea. But here's the thing. Because he didn't do his administrative reconnaissance, because he didn't take the time to learn, and because he didn't adapt his strategy to what was going on at the table, he wasn't flexible. He lost that $600 he had in front of him. I remember he had like a big old stack of chips in front of him, and he just kept putting not just like $5 down on the don't pass. I remember he would put down like a stack of chips down on it, and I remember thinking like, what an idiot. Like, dude, this is a hot table. Like, people are hitting their points left and right. I mean, what the heck? And stuff. You have 3 controlled shooters at this table, and you're still doing the wrong way betting? Like, what the heck is the matter with you? I didn't actually say that to him, okay? But that's what I was thinking. And this dude lost all his money, and then he just, like, walked away like, well, you know, these bastards are just lucky. I'm like, no, mister. You didn't do your administrative reconnaissance. You didn't take the time to find out what was going on before you picked a strategy. And of course, you kept using that strategy even when it kept losing time and time and time and time again. And that's why you lost, okay? Now, that brings me to one more point, because I talked about being decisive and I talked about being flexible at the table. So some of you are probably asking yourself right now, at what point do I change strategies? Okay, because you saw me earlier, right? I was doing the grinder method, and I lost like $10 right off the bat because this guy 7 down on his first roll, and then this girl 7 down on her first roll. I lost $10 right off the bat, but I kept doing the strategy. Okay, $10 is not a loss that I cannot recover from. All right, and I know that these people aren't going to be hitting like the 7s on their first roll forever. Okay, it's like a statistical anomaly. Okay, it's just not going to happen. So $10 is not a loss I cannot recover from. I started with $100. Okay, and there's plenty more where that came from. So I'm not really sweating it that much. All right, the only time I really start sweating it is if the losses are so big that I cannot recover from. Okay, and that's what you guys have to think about whenever you're deciding whether you want to change strategies or whether you want to stop playing altogether. You need to ask yourself, are my losses too big to recover from? Can I recover from this? $10? Yeah, I can easily recover from $10, and I did. Okay, then you guys saw me take that $22 hit when I used the hit and move method, all right, or I was attempting to. Did I stop using the method? No, I stuck with my guns. I kept using the strategy, even though I'd already taken a big hit, and it worked out well for me. So you have to have courage under fire, right? But if you start losing at a table, okay, you need to start asking yourself, why am I losing? All right, so getting back to the wrong way better, if he saw me presetting the dice, which he did, and he saw me picking up the dice and tossing them a certain way, which I know he saw me do that, and he saw me hit my point like twice, okay, he had to have known I was a controlled shooter, guys. He had to have known that. And he kept putting his money down anyways, and he lost money on that. Now, did he win money when I 7'd out? Yeah, he did, okay? But that didn't matter, because then it was this guy's turn to roll, and he was doing the same thing I was doing. He was picking up the dice a certain way, presetting them, picking them up, tossing them a certain way. Those dice stay together in the air, okay, and they barely touch the back wall, and they hardly don't even bounce whenever they hit the felt. That is a controlled shooter, guys. And that dude was losing money because this guy was hitting his points now, okay? So he was just losing more money. If he would have stopped and asked himself, why am I losing money? The obvious answer would have been, this guy's a controlled shooter and this guy's a controlled shooter, okay? And controlled shooters can come in teams, guys. I know, because I used to go to Vegas with my parents, and all three of us were controlled shooters, me, my mom, and my dad. Okay, and we would be at the table just like this, just 3 players, and she would roll, and she would be on a hot roll, and he would roll, and he would be on a good roll, and then I would roll, and maybe I'm unlucky, I 7'd out or whatever, who knows. But the bottom line being is we're hitting certain numbers more often than others. So we do pretty well. And if that guy would have just looked at that and took it for what it was, he could have changed his strategy, and he could have started betting the right way, and he would have started making money, and he probably would have recovered from his losses. But he didn't do that. So the bottom line is this, okay? If you start losing, you need to ask yourself why. Okay? Are you just unlucky, or are you or something going on here? Or is the strategy just simply not working? Okay, that's the first question you have to ask yourself. The second question you have to ask yourself is the loss too large for me to recover from? Like you saw, I lost $10 on the grinder method. No sweat. I just kept doing it. Okay, and then I lost $22 on the hit and move method. No sweat. I just kept doing my thing. And those were not losses that I could not recover from. So that's why I stayed decisive. That's why I stuck to my guns. And that's why recovered from my loss. I did well. If I would have, let's say I was doing the hit and move method combined with the grinder method, I have $22 here, I have $5 here, for a total of $27. This guy 7's out on his first roll. I lost $27 just like that. I started with 100. This girl, same thing. I tried my strategy. Alright, again, it's the same thing. I took a $27 hit. Okay, now I am down, what is it, $54? I'm down $54. I started with 100. I've lost half of my stakes at this game just with 2 shooters by itself. Okay, that tells me that I need to start putting on the brakes. Am I gonna start putting up the place bets here and another $5 here? Probably not. Okay, I might go to the grinder method. Okay, because you guys know how it is. Sometimes the 7s comes in series, right? Sometimes it's just 7 out, 7 out, 7 out. You know what I mean? A couple numbers hit, 7 out. You know what I mean? That's kind of how this game goes and stuff. So you kind of have to weather the storm a little bit and be decisive. Oh, I changed my method a little bit. So because I'm taking too many losses, because $54 is not the same thing as $22, or it's definitely not the same thing as $10. Now I'm getting to a situation where the loss is too big for me to recover from. And let's just say I took that $54 hit and the 7s keep coming and I just lost even more money. Now I'm down, let's say $40, maybe $35. You know what I'm going to do with that? I'm going to walk away. You know why? Because I don't feel, this is a cold table, okay? And my strategy is not working for me, okay? And sometimes it's not. Okay, so I don't feel that I can recover from my losses with the money that I have in front of me at that time. Now, can I take money out of my pocket and buy in again? Sure, I can. But why would I do that? This is Las Vegas, all right? This isn't the only craps game in town. Okay, you can go across the street and maybe find a more favorable table, okay? I would do that, all right? Money saved is just as valuable as money earned. That's what you guys have to remember. If you're down $60, you started with 100 and you got $40 left in front of you, if you walk away from that game because you feel like you're just not going to be able to turn it around, okay, that's really good too. That's huge. And I know it doesn't seem like it is, but it is. That's huge. You saved $40. Okay, the casino wants to get every lousy dime out of you, all right? Don't give them the satisfaction. Okay, you lost. It happens. It happens to the best of us. No big deal. Save your money and, again, you fight again another day. So it's like a war, right? If you're on a battlefield and you're taking too many casualties, why would you stick around for that bullshit, okay? You and your men don't need to be a part of that cluster, okay? Retreat, you know what I mean? Just get the heck out of there, all right? Because I mean, you can keep playing till all your chips are gone, but that makes about as much sense as you're in a fight and you're losing men left and right. You want to keep fighting till everyone's dead? I mean, that doesn't make any sense, right? Craps is the same way, folks. Okay, it's just like a war. All right, if it's not going well, if your strategy isn't working for you, retreat, go back to the drawing board, think about what you may have done wrong, think about the conditions of the table, think about how you can do better next time, and then go back, put your game face on, go back and do better. Okay, so this has been another tutorial, Advantage Gambling Concepts. And I hope you guys make a lot of money, okay? I really do. I want you guys to go to Vegas and win. And I want you guys to beat the house, beat the crap out of them, make a lot of money, okay? Please put a like on my video. If you have any comments or questions or anything, feel free to ask, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. And please subscribe if you like these videos, okay? Thanks for watching. Goodbye.